Welcome back to Fourth and Pain, the only pro wrestling show to be hosted by an NFL player and a weight loss champion. He's Redskins defensive end Adam Carriker.
Howdy.
I'm former wrestling announcer turned weight loss champion Chuck Carroll. This here is Fourth and Pain. Be sure to like us on Facebook and join us each and every weekday, high noon Eastern, fourthandpain.com. Fresh content. And as always, Adam, low calorie, high energy.
Followed by radio greatness.
That's right. Oh, we're a step above mediocrity today.
Well, we're a
this.
step above average, right below good. We're somewhere in that zone.
It's a gray area, but I'm happy to be where we are.
It is a gray area. I feel like we should address this guy in the middle, though.
Yeah, we do.
There's a third guy in here. There's not normally a third guy.
Look at that. Reed Doughty, what are you doing here, man?
I don't know. I'm on the little chair in the middle. Just hanging out. It's the offseason. I figured I'd hang out with the teammate.
Well, you know what? You come, but we're bearing gifts. For the first time this season, we're not doing the Fourth and Pain title presentation at Redskins Park. We said, no, as this is the year-end celebration, we're going to ask Reed, would he be kind enough to come to the Fourth and Pain studios? Sure enough, here you are. And with that, for the first time this year as well, Adam, you get to handle the belt presentation.
I do. I get to present the belt to our champion this week, which is Reed Doughty.
Nice.
Now, if you're noticing something a little bit weird about the belt, it's my fault. I left the actual belt in my locker. This is my son's toy belt, which is given to him for Christmas by Chuck. But I will get you the actual belt. Wear that one with pride until then.
I will.
It's got the spinner and everything.
Spinner and everything. And the fact that it's your son's, I'm sure I'm going to have to fight him for it when we go out.
No, it'll be all right. Just sneak out. Don't let him see you.
Tuck
He'll
it
put you
under
in the
your
figure
shirt.
four.
Oh, man. Have you seen that thing kind of making its rounds in the locker room this year?
Absolutely. And I know it's a lot heavier than this because I've actually tried it on. You know, I was hoping one day I would be able to represent.
Oh, yeah. Well, who had it when you got a chance to try it on?
I honestly don't remember. I probably just looked at it in their locker and felt it.
Gotcha.
Do you know when I told him he won this, do you know what he called that belt?
Oh, I'm
Do you
begging.
remember what you called
I
it?
don't remember.
Oh, I get to wear the Adam Awesome belt this week. That's what he said.
The Adam Austin belt. I like it. I like it a lot, man. But congratulations. You had a pair of sacks against the Seattle Seahawks, a pass defense. I mean, just a heck of an individual effort in this game. I mean, you got to be pretty happy, even though the game didn't conclude the way that you were. That's still a heck of a way for you personally to end the year.
Honestly, if you give me that stat line and we win, it's probably a career day for me, and something I always remember. When you lose, it definitely it's not the same, and it's disappointing because I felt like this was a team that had a chance to push in the playoffs. Not just when we went in 07, it was one of those situations we were happy to get there, and I felt like this year we weren't. We were ready to go farther, and unfortunately, it didn't end up like that.
But still, I mean, just a remarkable turnaround, that 7-game run to get into the postseason. I mean, just knowing now what this team is capable of, having proven it to yourselves, finally seeing those tangible results, you have to be pretty optimistic headed into 2013.
I'm definitely optimistic, but at the same time, every year brings new challenges, injuries. I mean, we lost Adam, which is really tough this year. You never know what's going to happen. So next year, obviously hope that Robert will come back healthy, that we can get Adam back healthy, that we can get a lot of the guys back healthy, Meriwether, a lot of the guys that we missed this year, Rakpo, obviously another big one. But every year is a new challenge, and we're going to have to start it up again.
Right on. Adam, what did you see out of Reed this year? Why is he the Fourth and Pain champion in Week 7? Well, the wild card weekend. Shoot, what am I saying?
Well, we should divulge a little information. Reed and I actually both live in Colorado in the offseason, and his front door is literally 15 minutes from my front door. So if we want to go visit each other, we have and we can. And he's come over, hung out on my boat. We did not water ski. Don't worry. We're being safe. We're being smart. But honestly, I've always felt Reed is a little underrated, undervalued around here. He's really good on special teams. He always ends up starting a bunch of games every year, even though at the beginning of the year somebody else is supposed to, just due to injury and things of that nature. The guy is extremely durable. He's always out there. He always knows what to do. And to me, he's a really good, underrated player for some reason. And to me, this is way past due, in my opinion.
I appreciate it. I've been here 7 years, and every year they tell me I'm not going to be the starter, and I can't remember a year. Last year 11 starts, this year 10, the year before that 8, the year before that 9. So you got to be ready and be accountable, and be durable is a huge part in the NFL. And I've tried to do all those things, and luckily I had a good run down the stretch.
It's funny how things like that play out. Now, I'm curious. London Fletcher, we've talked about him many times, Adam, you and I on the show. This is a guy, you say he entered the league 1998. hasn't missed a start or a game in that time. You just threw out that word durability. This is a guy that really defines it. What are your impressions of Fletch?
It's insane. It's absolutely ridiculous what he's done. I mean, he has done it with class, character. He's played it, not just played in the games. He plays at such a high level. He's been to a Pro Bowl. Should have been to a lot more. He's a consistent leader. Like I said, he consistently plays at a very high level. And the absurdity of playing 16 games in one NFL season, let alone 15 straight.
Sure.
I mean, it's unbelievable. I really don't think you're going to see something like that for a very long time.
Yeah, and London Fletcher was, I believe he's up for one of our Fourth and Pain titles this week. We're giving out title belts to everybody on offense, defense, and special teams. And so this year we're giving the special teams title. We're calling it the Cruiserweight title because of our selection. And so not to tip the hand, but is there anybody on special teams that maybe headed to Honolulu to play in a game, finally getting that recognition they deserve?
Lorenzo's a beast, an absolute beast. And, I played with him for a number of years, and he wasn't even a special team player when he first got here. He was, back wedge or whatever it was, and he's really just it's just transformed himself, really. He's an epitome of a guy that just will find a way to make himself a roster spot each and every year, and he's molded himself into a Pro Bowl special team player. Really should have went last year, maybe the year before. Some guys get tackles, he annihilates people. So, when you're consistently getting tackles, it's one thing, but when you're consistently getting big hits on special teams and all of the tackles in production, I mean, he might not get just double team, he might get triple team next year. So,
now, what about you? What are your plans this offseason? Are you going back to Colorado? Are you going to come over, hang out at my house on the boat? You're going to be staying here in D.C.? What's on Reed Doughty's plate?
When you're an old guy and you've been married 10 years and you got 3 kids and your kids are in school, you don't go anywhere. So I'm just going to enjoy spending time with my kids, riding bikes with them, hanging out, golf a little bit with the family. Got my wife some golf clubs for Christmas this year. I will not be teaching her anything about golf. I will be getting her lessons. If you want to stay married, been married 10 years, don't try to teach your spouse something like that. So just really enjoying the off season and trying to get healthy and ramp up for another year.
Reed Doughty joins us here on Fourth and Pain, the wild card weekend edition of the Fourth and Pain Champion. And Reed, as this is a half pro wrestling, half pro football show, I want to talk about the former. I want to talk about pro wrestling because you and I and Adam have discussed off the air that you may have a little bit of an affinity for the classic wrestlers, guys like the Junkyard Dog.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly don't follow it much nowadays, but when I was little, 5 years old, got the WWF pro wrestling birthday cake. My mom made the own cake with the ring on top, and it had, I think it was Junkyard Dog and Rowdy Piper and Jake the Snake and some of the old time guys that you could thumb wrestle.
I remember that.
Make it happen in the stage and try not to mess up the cake, but brings back some good memories.
Absolutely. Adam, I mean, do you remember that old WWF cartoon that had, I think, virtually everybody that you just mentioned? Junkyard Dog, Jake the Snake, probably Hulk Hogan was in there. Did you watch that
Andre
one?
the Giant.
Yeah, back in the day, Saturday mornings.
Of course, I watched that. I remember I was telling you guys before the show, I had the little dudes, and, I think it was Ultimate Warrior and Hulk Hogan. And basically just beat the crap out of each other. I'd sit in my lap, and my lap was the ring, and they'd jump off my leg, which was the ring post, onto each other. And they had no head, no arm by the time I was done with them.
And you bring up Jake the Snake. I always like to tell this story. Jake the Snake, and I know that you're a man of faith, so you're going to appreciate this. This is a guy that's really trying hard to turn his life around. Has really given it over, to the Lord. He's doing good things. He's had his battle with the demons, but is trying to actually transition that faith and make a strong push one more time back into the squared circle. And he's working with another former wrestler, or still current wrestler, Diamond Dallas Page, and they're filming it. It's a reality TV show. It's really kind of interesting what they're doing. And the way that they're doing it is really something special.
Interesting, yeah. I mean, you get somebody that's trying to turn their life around and you throw some wrestling into it. I'm sure it makes for good TV.
Absolutely. And he's doing a heck of a job. I mean, this is a guy that was up there. He's a lot shorter than Carriker and certainly doesn't have the muscle mass, but he was every bit as heavy and has slimmed down. And it's really just remarkable to kind of see that kind of turnaround.
Oh, absolutely. I think it's just great TV. I think it's just good to see someone turning their life around, someone trying to do good. Because I know he dealt with drugs. He dealt with a lot of issues, some family issues. You know, he's getting along with his dad the best. So it's cool just to see something like this. Now, my question for you is, you've named some wrestlers, but if you had to pick one, who's your favorite wrestler of all time? Do you have one?
Wow. You know, Junkyard Dog. I mean, you have
Junkyard
a chain around your neck. I mean, you have to be a bad man to be able to wear a big chain around your neck like that. So I think that's pretty cool.
You know, that's what we need next year, Adam. Instead of the title belt, we can do the JYD big old chain. Just have people walking around the locker room looking like JYD or Mr. T.
There you
or
go.
even Flavor Flav with the big old clock.
Oh, we're not doing the clock. I'm sorry, Flav. I'm not a fan of that. That's got to be heavy. Does that not just hurt your neck, man?
I mean,
I think it's huge.
I'm a fan. I went as Mr. T one year for Halloween. I think that you guys can pull it off as small as I am.
I'm saying just the clock. You know, I like the chain, but not the clock.
You don't think of the 61 guys in your locker room, there's not going to be a handful that want to represent with that clock? You don't think that that's going to give people extra incentive on Sunday afternoon?
What do you think, Reed?
Well, it is a wrestling belt, so I don't know what Flavor Flav has to do with it.
Well, he's talking about the clock the Flav wears around his neck. He's talking about changing it.
I just want a junkyard chain, maybe like rusted out with like a little bit. Yeah, just pretty much.
The chain is cool. Just throw that clock in the trash, man.
I don't know, man. Maybe we need to hand out 2 awards. I'm all pumped up for the chain, man. I want the clock.
I'll just try and get the real belt to you next time. How about we just do that?
All right. Well, Reed Doughty, congratulations once again. Have a phenomenal offseason and onward and upward in 2013.
Sounds good. Appreciate it, guys.
Thanks for coming on and joining us.
This is Fourth and Pain. On the other side, stick around. We're going to be giving out our year-end awards, MVP, offensive, defensive, special teams, and newcomer of the year.
My personal favorite.
It's Fourth and Pain. Don't go anywhere.